Okay, welcome to this weekend's edition of our Backlog bonanza, where we will be catching up on a number of privately selected codes, some from regulars, some from just unfinished business from levels that we had not completed in weeks before, and some other codes that had been circulated my way. And we are going to begin this week with a look at a complete, hopefully, 30-course world, split into 6 worlds by Volkswagen. And we will just get right into it. Now, we'll see what we manage with the starting bank of lives, because we do tend to observe game overs when we play worlds. But that will give us a sense of how well these courses are balanced around the intake of 1-ups and the loss of lives accordingly. So, let's get in here, let's take a look. Super Volkswagen World. So we're going to have a starting bank of 25 lives, and we are going to enter in the grassland in very conventional format. And 1-1 is going to be Shroom Heights. Volkswagen, thank you for joining me. Glad you could make it at this session. I did see that you were in, and therefore this would be a great place to start. Interesting for a 1-1 how much this feels like the kind of Sky Shroom level that was the original 1-3. Perfectly fine way to start, of course. We'd better get this guy out of the way just so we can run up the seesaw. Yep. Pretty gentle warm-up into what is to come. Sort of interesting that we are starting right away with fairly narrow spacing on the falling platforms. I don't know how many of these levels were originally already developed prior to the introduction of the worlds. I mean, given that there are 30 levels, I assume that most of them preceded the 3.0 patch and were kind of restructured into a full game. Keep playing as Mario? Okay. Sneak in. I don't know if we really need to cash into points to make that happen. But we'll enter the generic Super Mario Bros. Level. And staying as Mario is probably the right decision. And we already know that this is going to be minus World Mario because of the Buzzy Beetle. Interesting thing about these gaps here is that I think when I originally played the game, I actually didn't know how to use the dash button. Like, I used it pretty much just for the Fire Flower, and not knowing how to dash, I actually didn't run into any trouble until World 8, because that's the first time that I think you actually have a gap that's wide enough to require it. So yeah, it is an introductory level, but it's one that does require you to be holding the dash already, and that's, I think, the expectation that most of us test with when it comes to veteran players. About 50% were made beforehand, okay. So, Sneakin', how have you been getting on lately? I see you've still been quite active in the game. We have not, of course, managed to get back to that optional level in your World 1 that expended about 50 lives. But that is something that we should push on with eventually. Hey, Thomas B. Thomas B, to answer your question from last night, because I realized afterwards I completely missed your question in chat. We have not finished your Champions Road. We did, however, finish your wall jump level. I don't know if you stayed long enough to see that. It listed you as online when I started that, but I don't know if you were actually here for the end of it. So if you want to look up the VOD from yesterday, or the last session, this morning or yesterday, depending on your time zone, we did in fact complete the wall jump, which I don't actually need a mushroom. What am I doing here? Okay. But yeah, hopefully we'll be looking at Champions Road later on again. We are doing a 30-course world first, though, and that's going to be a bit of a large starting experience. Let's carry the P-switch in case we need it for something. Okay, that's going to be on-off activated over there. Not something we really have yet. We do see ground beneath our feet, maybe. Although I think that might just be background. Ah, here's the on switch. We just want to lower the thwomp. For a moment I thought this was a side thwomp, but then I realized it was the night theme. It was totally throwing me off. So we'll get back in here. And yeah, so this is a kind of day-night swap, as you can see. We did notice that a while ago, and I just didn't draw attention to it. So you have a day world and a night world. And yeah, you see a couple of transformations that use that, but then we'll have to think about how to acquire a key. See platform over there to the left. Let's head back here and just get a sense of what we're dealing with. Don't know that we actually know where to get the key just yet, but this could be it. Yep, there we go. Which will also train us to look for that block on the other side. But yeah, Thomas, that's understandable. But the video is up and you are free to review that as you please. But yeah, Sneakin'. You know, one thing that I only discovered last night the hard way is that if you finish a level in the middle of a world, you actually can't re-enter it unless there's some kind of secret input that I don't know. This is a bad idea. We're not actually allowed to make it, but we boosted through. That felt like I probably cheesed it and that I was supposed to go through this zone here instead, but we'll take it. But yeah, it turns out that if you skip something... not skip something, rather, but if you complete one path in a level, for instance, and you want to go back to see a different one, it doesn't actually allow you to do so. As far as I know. Oh, if you have a mushroom, you get a little bonus. Okay, I see. Alright, let's do the little bonus game. We never know if we're going to need these lives further down the road, and sooner or later I should actually learn how to do this. Ah, that was a miss. Big miss. But yeah, because I was running a world in the previous Euro level session, and there was an alternate bonus path that I wanted to go back to and see, and I could not do that from the map. That seems like a bit of an oversight, I guess, by the standards of how everything works from Super Mario World onwards, and even in SMB3, when they introduced a map, I believe that there was a secret input to get you back into a cleared card. So, that seemed a little bit odd, and it was something about progression through a super world that I just never really thought would be an issue. But definitely a bit of an oversight in the implementation, I think. No. Wait. Clear that distance with a long jump. Let's rethink that. Better rethink that carefully. But yeah, thanks to all of you for joining me today. I mean, I know it's not necessarily the same kind of vibe as viewer levels when I'm just running backlog stuff, but it's nice to be a little bit unconstrained sometimes and work on larger projects or lower clear rates. And yeah, we have a good lineup for this stream following this level as well, depending on how much time we have, and I may even run a second backlog program this weekend if it is necessary. Let's head up to this door here. I kind of wonder about it. Okay, that's just a reset. Interesting. So that drops you on flop, though. Drops you rather directly, so... I see, that's an exit if you do get trapped. I see, so you send that guy to the left and then you go through. Oh, whoops. Got squished. Yeah, that was just a timing error. Here's one thing you have to watch out for. So we dropped in after the checkpoint through a one-way warp block. The warp block here is still accessible. That's a trap. So basically now we cannot progress. So when you use warp blocks, you have to make sure they actually do serve as a one-way point. One way to do that in 3D World is to use donut blocks, because the 3D World donut blocks collide in such a way that they are hard one-way gates. If you just kind of leave it dangling like this, with the player able to get back, that... I mean, I know that you just kind of expect that most players will be sensible enough not to do that by themselves. But it does stick out as a little bit of a gating oversight, just so you know. And that's just, whoops, something to keep in mind for 3D World designs that, you know, you really do have to force them to be one way, even after the respawn. Yeah. And there are a couple of one-way gating mechanisms in 3D World that are pretty specific to the style. Donut blocks being one of them. Okay. Timing is kind of bad here. We'll just fix that. You know, I should get on top of this guy and then raise this. And there we go. Yeah, pipe's not so much of an issue because, you know, if you go back, you can just turn. Obviously, you know, when you have a pipe on the ground like that, it has much more of a traditional look to it, but because we can't enforce one-way pipes in Maker 2, like we could in Maker 1, I know that usually people just elevate it by a tile or something to prevent re-entry. Not too much of a big deal here, since if you go back, you can just come back this way. Let's do the wall slide. That's always fun. Whoops. That's always fun until you get squished. But no, it's always satisfying to ride and flop this way, so... Okay, whoops. I should have known that was a swamp activated off switch. Okay. Whoops. In fact, instead of waiting, it's probably a good idea that we can just reset through the pipe. We could try to wait for it off screen, but I'm not sure if it would actually exceed the despawn distance. It goes quite far. So yeah, just because of camera position, even though it's quite obvious what this setup is, might be better to, you know, when you have something like this, have the on-off block kind of on the bottom row rather than the top corner. But that's just a visibility thing. No. Mistake. We really do have to slide and watch the timing there. Yeah, that is why the pipe was there. I absolutely do see that now. And if you have the doors to spare, which you might not, reset door also works. Yeah, this is still fun, though. I always like to do the little swamp ride like that. Whoops. Yeah, just one moment. And I wonder if sneak in actually refunds your points if I mean, I'm not rejecting your change character. It's more that, like, I'm Mario already. I'm just going to hand you back your points if that works that way. Generally haven't had to do that, so don't know if it actually works as intended. Whoops. Might be a good thing to know. Oh, okay, it does refund. That's a good thing to know, because I'm trying to devise some new rewards that may actually make use of that. Okay. This is, in general, kind of a strange timing to work out, but we'll figure that out, I'm sure. Oops. Well, Sneak In, you could say that that was the highlight of my day. Okay, we need to figure out a better pattern for this, I think. Like maybe sneak a wall jump up bottom block. No. Or maybe deactivate the red side and just do a single wall jump up the red side. That'll take some working out, simply to work around the swamp activation range, first of all, and also the fact that the switch is just right beside it, and so it's very quickly and won't really just be something so simple as an alternating pattern, as far as I can see. We do try to be wonderful around here. Or even punderful. Oh wow, we're down to 16 lives here already. That's a bit threatening, given that we did say rather courageously that we would observe game overs. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. We're going to jump up. No. Yeah, the cooldown time on the swamp is... I think I do need to head up the red side and slide, and then time the second wall jump around that. Or maybe head up the blue side and then slide, and then time the wall jump. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but we'll find some way to do it. Okay. So we will go up with the blue. No, the slide's too slow. Maybe it is just straight up the middle. It's gonna take a little bit of figuring out. Okay, no, I think I know what to do. No. Well, hopefully this is not too much of a hard roadblock on the entire run. Might be something I'm missing about how this is designed to work. Yeah, because like the wall jump across this distance seems to be too quick to beat the activation of the thwomp if I'm sliding down the left side, but we'll try that again. And gotta let him cool down, and then reactivate. Looks like using this ledge is probably part of the solution. No, still too quick. And even so, I don't think that's going to give us the height we need. No, still too quick. And that won't really solve our problem, because it would just get us up to red at the same height that we would if we just normally did a high jump into it. If you just rush it, really. Okay. Rush it how? Because it doesn't seem like he reactivates fast enough, rather. No, let's reset this. Oh, part of the trick is keeping him off screen, okay. I see, so it's kind of camera dependent. Oh, so you just rush this thing, okay. I see, okay, okay. Actually would not have occurred to me. But we'll jump our way up. You're here. Okay, and let's see if there's anything in here. Yes. 1-ups actually are a little bit precious to us on this run, given how many lives we burnt through on that